Adrienne Clarkson once declared, "Each of us is carving a stone, erecting a column, or cutting a piece of stained glass in the construction of something much bigger than ourselves." World wonders are much more than buildings left by unknown ancestors. They simply are the heritage of humankind. They represent an attempt by a vanished civilization to leave a mark on Earth, to fight the fate of time. But the world has changed. Everything goes so fast. We can travel around the world within a day, while Marco Polo made half of it in 3 years. We can construct a hospital in days, while we used to build cathedrals in centuries. No more messenger, we can talk to anyone in less than a second. No one wants to leave a footprint on the soil of time anymore. We want to live the moment. And that's too bad, because we have a lot to learn from the past. Petra, one of the new 7 world wonders. An entire city carved in the rock in the middle of nowhere. An entire city that was so well hidden from the rest of the world that we had to wait the 19th century for it to be rediscovered. Let's find out what this incredible unsigned civilization conceals. The said city of Petra has been founded during the 6th century before Christ. But the site itself has been populated since millennia. The area is located in the middle of Jordanian desert, hidden in a valley overlooked by some of the region's steepest mountains. Actually, these mountains are so inaccessible that Petra can only be reached by stepping in a 6 meters wide fault in rock. What an astounding natural defensive wall! The city was the cradle of the Nabatean, a civilization of merchants. During the 1st century, these merchants controlled almost all of the Arabian desert, hence all the trade of oriental luxuries to the Roman Empire. At that time, Petra was so rich they could afford having gorgeous gardens in one of the world's most arid deserts, in addition to constructing gigantic palaces and mausoleums directly carved in the rock. Unfortunately, in a few centuries, the Nabatean civilization declined, and Petra was abandoned. The sun and the elements quickly started to cover the area, and the city got forgotten.
Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees. And I see fire hollow souls. I see fire burning the breeze. I hope that you remember me.
In 1812, Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, a Swiss geographer, rediscovered the place. Most of Petra's most beautiful landmarks were half overlaid by sand. During the 20th century, archaeologists started to lead excavation, revealing to the world the capital of an unknown antique nation. Nowadays, scientists consider that only 20% of the city has been excavated and that there's a lot to discover in the valley itself, where Nabateans used to build their homes. But is it a good idea to dig furthermore in the valley? The rock erodes because of the sand that was protecting it from the weather was removed, and because the antique site has now become a massive touristic attraction with more than 1 million visitors per year. It is way too much, and with the number of tourists constantly rising, the archaeological site will quickly become unrecognizable. One could argue that a world wonder is supposed to be shared and visited by the entire world, but the interest towards Petra may actually destroy it. This is why we created P-Transmission, the first association for the protection of Petra Archaeological Park. Our mission is simple. Firstly, We want to militate against the excavation of the rest of the area in order to preserve it for the future, when we will be able to dig without deteriorating antiquities. Secondly, we want to limit the number of visitors to 50,000 per year, reducing it by 20 times. Such a measure would have a great impact on keeping the city in good shape. Finally, and above all, we want to call for goodness to raise $100,000 to restore Al Kazne, the treasure. It is a massive mausoleum in which the bas-relief worsens because of tourist activity. And above all, thank you, dear culture connoisseur, for watching this video, and we hope you will support our project.